So Monument Grills sent me their new Mesa Series 2 410 FBZ about a month ago. They don't get to approve what I say, so this is just my honest take on their newest product. Usually I'm skeptical with budget grills because you have to compromise somewhere to get that price point. Typically they suck somewhere throughout the grill. They kind of compromise, so you're skeptical when you've used all the other great Monument grills that they have. Where are they going to compromise, or just the instruction manual just makes you want to quit. You really don't know where they're going to compromise, but I found out this one was just a little bit different. We didn't film the unboxing, that's my fault. It did include instructions. Now, since this is a new release, they didn't have their typical video that I like to follow. With that said, I'm better at following videos, so instructions are something I sometimes don't follow. But since the instruction manual was the only thing I had, it was actually super easy to follow. There were a few points where I kind of wish I knew what part was which, labeled wise, but I figured it out and got it all together like it is right here. As every Monument grill, the packaging is super organized, and they clearly thought it out where they should put stuff. It came in one box, pretty light box compared to the other two grills that I've reviewed. So just note that it's not that heavy. Once it's together, it's pretty compact, but it doesn't feel small. I mean, it's still got a pretty good profile. It's not the smallest grill in the world, but it's also not the biggest grills I've reviewed as well. It does have good storage underneath. It doesn't have doors, but it has storage right here on the shelving on the side. They reduced a lot of the parts to make assembly just that much quicker and faster to get you up and grilling. So what do most people want to know about grills? Well, it's usually burners, cooking area, and some of the other features. So let's go through those. The cooking area on the 4110 FBZ is about 405 square inches, which is pretty good for, let's say, a family of 4 to 6. It does have 4 burners, as you can tell by the knobs here. The cool thing about Monument grills, and it's something I didn't know until I got the spec sheet, is the left side of this grill actually has different BTUs than the right side. So let's go through that. The left 2 burners are actually 8,500 BTU each, which is pretty much standard for your everyday cooking, your hamburgers, brats, whatever. But the right side, that's where it gets kind of cool. The right 2 burners are actually 10,000 BTU each, which is what they call their broil zone. It's also labeled on the grill itself. And if you know about what high heat and broil zone, it's just perfect for searing like your steaks and everything like that. What's different about this budget grill compared to other budget grills that I've been able to grill with over the years is you get the same heat, same burners, and it just consistently burns at the same even temperature, which isn't the worst thing, but you don't get the searing capacity of the broil zone. This gives you zones, and it gives you the ability to cook different things at different temps at the same time, which is actually pretty helpful. Now, the other thing that budget grills will sometimes have is budget grates. This one does not. This is cast iron grates. They're thick. For a budget grill, they held the heat well. Unfortunately, just like some of those cheap chrome ones don't, this one didn't feel like it was cheap. Again, I've used it for a month and I haven't seen any breakdown. And even through the cleaning process, I didn't see anything chip. Now that could change, but right now I haven't seen anything chip, and it seems to be really good. The one thing it doesn't have, and again, I don't use a side burner a whole lot, so it may not be the worst thing for some people. This doesn't come with a side burner. Now, that's up to debate if you want to use it, but that could be a negative for you if you like to have a side burner. On the contrary, though, you get 2 side shelves, so you can store more stuff on there. Even though the profile on these shelves are a little bit smaller, you have 2 of them, so at least you can use both sides to store stuff on. And there is no push ignition like the other Monument grills. This one is you click in, just like a regular grill that has the igniter in itself. So you just go here, click, and you know, I've had times where it goes right on, and then maybe the second time it goes on. So it's 1, 2, and it's done. I've never had 3 or 4, but it does sometimes do it on the second click. I found that even though you have 2 different zones and 2 different temperatures, they were fairly even for what you need. Again, you can also adjust those on the knobs to keep everything kind of consistent. I felt like the cast iron helped that with the even distribution. For me, the dual zone thing actually works out well because I like to cook 2 different things at the same time. So it could be like chicken on the left side. The other side, like I said, I could be doing steaks for that night, and that's what I'm having for supper. So I like to have that 2 different zones so I can utilize the sear and get the broil zone for my steaks, but I'll also utilize the other side for things like chicken and all the other things you want to use it for. So on this thing, like I said, I've done chicken, I've done steak, I've done brats, kind of your typical things that you would do on any other grill. Pretty much the normal stuff. I mean, I haven't gone too extravagant. I'm not a seafood guy, so I don't really test a lot of seafood on my grills. But if you do, I'm not sure what the results would be, but on the typical stuff, the normal stuff, it does really well. Starting with the chicken, I mean, now what I do is I put the chicken on the right side. I just wanted to kind of get a gauge for what the broil zone would do for the chicken to make that faster. I did lower the temp to about 450 to 500 degrees when I was cooking this stuff. So though I put the steaks actually on the left side so I can get them to the medium rare that I was looking for. And then once the chicken was done, I turned off the left burners, cranked up the broil zone, put the steaks on to get those sear marks, and then it was good to go. I didn't find anything wrong with them. I actually liked the sear marks that were on them. The only thing I might personally do, switch those. So I put the steaks on the right hand side, the chicken on the left hand side. But on that, when you have the steaks on the left hand side and you move into the broil zone like we did, this is in my opinion where the dual setup pays off. I don't have to pull everything to crank up the heat, just slide it over. You can look at the sear. And again, the broil zone gets hot, so you can just crank that side up now that you have the chicken off, and you can see those sear marks. Throwing burgers on too, I mean, it has enough area to fit those on. Since it's just me and I do meal prepping with some of the grills that I used, I don't put a whole lot on, but the capacity is you can fit quite a few hamburgers on this. I mean, if you're cooking for 10 people, you're probably gonna have to cook in batches, but if you're cooking for, let's say 4 to 6 people, one batch using the grill should be just fine. And the flavor from the sear marks, I mean, you can taste the flavor and it's pretty solid. Now it does come with like a warming rack. Now it's not your traditional graded warming rack. It's just kind of like a stainless steel thing. So it's a little different than what I'm used to, but you can also put stuff up there and I will show that in the video right now. Again, it's just not the traditional grate. It's got little areas for pockets for air movement stuff, but it's not the traditional grate that I'm used to. But that's the warming rack you do get on the 410 FBZ. Again, it does come with a shelf, so you can put stuff underneath to kind of store, like, let's say, maybe cast iron, or you want to store some of your tools under there, you can. Again, I recommend these for any grill that you get. I recommend a cover. It just helps out. There's no maybes, ifs. I would just recommend getting a cover. Monument Grills does sell them. Whether they have it in this style yet or not, I'm not sure, but just make sure you get a cover because it's just going to save you that hassle down the road of any rust potential. This grill does not come with any hooks on the side for any of your spatulas and stuff, so just be cognizant of that. Again, though, you do get the 2 shelves, so you can always stick them on there if you're using it, but you're not going to be able to hang those over when you're storing them, whatever. Front side of this grill is not open, but the other sides are open, so it's pretty much an open concept grill. For my opinion, the 410 FBZ is ideal for those who have the small patios and just not a lot of space. They just want to get into the grill market, but don't want to spend so much money on all their premium features that they don't use. So I think it's just a great option for those who want to get into having something but don't have to pay those premium prices for some of the premium things like the 2 different zones. With the shelves though, if they don't have sideburners on it, you can fold those. So if you have, let's say, a compact patio and you're able to store this somewhere, you can fold those up and down so they can collapse to the side of the grill, so you don't have to worry about extra space. So if you have a small patio, that might be a great thing for you. This does come with what they call the segmented flame control knob, which is basically designed exclusively for the broil zone. That knob enables precise step-by-step flame adjustment, making it super easy to dial in the perfect heat for consistency. The lid is a stainless steel lid, which is paired with the cast aluminum side panels, provides superior heat retention and corrosion resistance, which is great for a lightweight budget option like we have here. It does have the mechanical thermometer on it. The Broil Zone has what they call a wide stainless steel flame tamer, which is basically designed with flame pattern preparation. The wide stainless steel flame tamer distributes heat more evenly across the cooking surface while also reflecting radiant heat upward. This design helps reduce flare-ups and it basically ensures more efficient heat transfer. So what does this run? The Mesa II 410 FBZ runs at $299. So that price reflects pretty much into that budget option. For me, having those 2 different zones in a budget option is just a great thing to have. Like I said, if you want to do steaks, you can get that broil, get that sear, and for some people that's important. So having those 2 zones to me was a great thing to have. The build quality for me was actually a lot better than I thought. I thought cheaper options can be pretty flimsy. I've gone out there and shaked it and kind of like try to test it. I didn't find any fidgeting. The only bad thing would be is you only get 2 casters, which whatever, I mean, that's how you lift it up and move it. I would like to have seen 4 casters on this, but again, it's not like it's a big deal. So having those 2 casters, you can move it around. It's not a big deal. It's light enough that when you lift it up, you're not carrying like 400 pounds. I mean, it's pretty easy to move around, but just sometimes nice to have those 4 casters. And they're not lockable casters, so, but you have those 2 legs that are pretty solid on the ground, so you have to worry about it moving. Some things to know when you get this, just be cognizant of the grease tray in the back. You will have to empty this out a lot more than all your other grills, most likely. It is fairly small, so just be cognizant that, hey, you gotta empty it out more often than you think. Not the biggest deal in the world. But the nice thing about Monument Grills, you can pull that tray out, empty the tray, put it back in. So it is smaller, but it's not that hard to clean them out. Some negatives, like I said, it's perfect for about 4 to 6 people, but if you have a group of 10 coming over, you got, family stuff, with it being about 405 square inches, that could be small for some people, but perfect for some people who only have, let's say it's just a couple, you have small families, so it just kind of depends on what you're looking for application wise. But for me, for the price, it does exactly what it should. Again, Monument did send me this for a review. I will link a link in the description below. It does help me grow the channel out and kind of make more videos out like this in the future. Let me know in the comments below what other grills you want me to review. Again, I've got other videos about Monument Grills here, so check those out. Thanks again for watching. This is Monument Grills Mesa Series 2 410 FBZ.